Hi, my name is Tanner Zumwalt. I'm a JD candidate in the class of 2021. I'm also a Davis Polk Leadership Fellow and Pat Tillman Scholar at the law school. And then this right here on my right is Travis, and this is Kai. After graduating from college, I actually joined the Army and served as an Army officer from 2013 until 2017. As an Army officer, I completed overseas tours to the Middle East and East Asia. The experience of traveling overseas and working with different sets of laws and regulations really made me interested in learning more about the law, especially international law, and how I could sort of apply that skill set as a professional. When my wife and I first toured Columbia Law School, she was pregnant with this kid. And so by the time we actually started, he was about the same age as this one. So we've had babies throughout my Columbia Law School experience. It's really provided a built-in community of other parents at the law school and at the university at large. I think it was the late Justice Ginsburg who said that having a daughter in law school provided sort of balance to her life. And that couldn't be any more true. For me, having a kid while in law school, definitely made studying challenging at times, but I would have the break of doing a bedtime routine with him and reading him a bedtime story. And then after that, I could go back to my studies completely refreshed and ready to take on the law. One of the first things I realized was how difficult it was to get sort of last-minute childcare. Around November of my 1L year, Dean Lester was hosting a breakfast where she just made herself available to students. I brought up sort of the issues and challenges of being a parent at the law school and how I felt like a backup care program would be really useful. And she was really enthusiastic about it, and she told me she was going to make it happen. But apart from that, she kind of involved me as a stakeholder to really make sure that this program was going to serve student parents like myself. For me, law is about navigating sort of the policies and the information overload that comes with being a business or a person in today's environment. When I started at Columbia Law School, I didn't think I would be interested in the corporate practice at all. But after starting to take some classes that focused on corporate law, I realized that it really played into some of the core competencies I developed as a military officer. Things like planning, building partnerships, really preparing for every possible outcome. These are things that are directly applicable to one's practice as a corporate attorney. Having transitioned from the military to law school and then now looking at yet another transition as a corporate attorney, I'm really excited. Here's an opportunity to learn something completely new and apply myself to help organizations that I'm excited about.